Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to today's Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita session. Today is May 18th, 2026. We are reading from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya, chapter 10, the Lord's return to Jagannātha Purī. In this, we are reading about the conversation between Srila Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and Prataprudra Maharaj. Prataprudra Maharaj wanted an interview with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said that it is not possible because he is a Virakta sannyasi. He will not meet a person who is dealing with, he will not meet with a king even in his dreams because he is a renounced sannyasi. But still, I would have made some arrangement. Somehow or other, I would have arranged your meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. But the problem is, he is not in Jagannātha Purī now. He is actually in South India. He just left for a South Indian tour. So then the king asked, why did he leave Jagannātha Purī? So then Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, this is the nature of a devotee of the Lord, a pure devotee. He's traveling to purify the places, and even there, actually, his intention is to deliver the materialistic people of this world. And what to speak of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, he is not even a living entity, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Still, because he's playing the role of a devotee, he is exhibiting the symptoms of a devotee, a living entity, a devotee. Then Prataprudra Maharaj said, why did you stop him? Why didn't you try to keep him here in Jagannātha Purī by one way or the other? Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said he is supreme independent personality of Godhead. And so I tried, but I failed. I failed in my endeavors, which were against his desire. Because he is supremely independent, his will prevails. Then the king said, you are a great learned, the crest jewel of all learned personalities, And since you are saying that he is Krishna, I accept it as truth. When he comes back, when he returns to Jagannātha Purī, I have a desire to get his darshan just once so that my eyes will become perfect by his darshan. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, yes, he will return in a short time. We need a place for him though, when he returns. A place which is very close to Jagannath temple and also which is in solitude. There is no crowds there, nobody else around. So we need a solitary place which is very close to Jagannath temple. Please arrange for such a temple, for such a residence, such a place for Lord Chaitanya's residence. Then the king said, there is one such place, that is Kashi Mishra's house. It is close to Jagannath temple and also it is extremely solitary. Saying this, the king became very eager now for the return of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He is now spending his time in great eagerness. Meanwhile, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya went to Kashi Mishra's house and informed him what Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu said. That Śrī Caitanya, he informed him about what the king said, that Kashi Mishra's house would be the residence of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. When Kashi Mishra heard this, he said, I'm so fortunate that in my house, Prabhupada is going to stay. Prabhupada is going to stay in my house. So then we got into the discussion of the word Prabhupada as described by Srila Prabhupada in the purport, and quoting Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada said, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is called Prabhupada. Prabhupada means that personality at whose lotus feet all other Prabhus take shelter. So not only Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, but the Vishnu Tattva. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Prabhu, they are all addressed as Prabhupada because at their lotus feet, being the Supreme Personality, being Vishnu Tattva, everyone else is a servant. Everyone else is a servant of the Lord. So therefore, Vishnu Tattva is Prabhupada. Then Srila Prabhupada explained that the Lord's confidential servant, that means his representative acts as his confidential servant, or his confidential servant acts as his representative in this world, taking the role of a spiritual master. So his confidential servant should also be respected as the Lord himself is respected. We can also understand this when the ambassador of a particular nation goes to another nation. The way they treat the ambassador is how they are treating that country or the president of that country. Like that. The ambassador is representing the whole nation or the head of the nation, the president. So similarly, the representative of the Supreme Lord, the confidential servant of the Supreme Lord, who is representing the Supreme Lord, should be respected exactly as you respect the Supreme Lord. We don't have access to the Supreme Lord. It is through the confidential servant that we come to know about the Supreme Lord. So whatever gifts we want to offer to the Lord, we offer it to the servant, and the servant takes it to the Lord because he is a confidential servant. So therefore, he deserves to be served, respected, just like the Supreme Lord. So this confidential servant in this world is acting as a spiritual master, and therefore he is also addressed as Prabhupada. The way the Supreme Lord is addressed as Prabhupada, his confidential servant is also addressed as Prabhupada, or as Vishnupad, or as Sripad. So these are the terms used for a confidential servant of the Lord who in this world takes the role of a spiritual master. So these words, Prabhu, so also who is Prabhu? Prabhu means all Vaishnavas, the pure devotees are addressed as Prabhu. They address each other as Prabhu. So where many such Prabhus take shelter, that person is called Prabhupada. And these words are given in Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita Chaitanya Bhagavat. That means Prabhupada, Vishnupad, Prabhu, these words are described. So these scriptures are the evidence of, they are the evidence for pure devotees. So now the next question is, okay, the confidential servant of Krishna is called Prabhupada. Now who is the confidential servant? Some people say that our family lineage, only those who take birth in my family, they can be given the title of Prabhupada. Only they can be the confidential servants of the Lord. Nobody else can take this title. But Srila Prabhupada says that this is Prakrita Sahajiya. Prakrita means you're still on the material platform, bodily platform. This family lineage is seminal lineage. You take a title belonging to a particular lineage, a particular family, that is seminal. It is not based on the qualification that a person has. So therefore, the Prakrita Sahajiyas are not even worthy of being called as Vaishnavas. If you think about it, it is pretty ridiculous. But that's how caste system works, if you see. You know how a particular caste gets that name? Based on the occupation. If somebody is a potter, then he gets the surname of a potter. Not because he took birth in that family, because you identify. So when you hear his name, the surname, by that surname you understand what kind of occupation he is doing, which varna he belongs to. Belongs to means varna is based on what you do. Karma, guna karma, what type of karma you do. So your name suggests your department. Very scientific, isn't it? Like somebody who gets a PhD, then he gets the title doctorate. You call doctor so and so. So as soon as you hear doctor, some name, immediately you know, oh, either this person is a PhD holder or a medical, somebody who has completed medicine. You understand? By the title, like that. So last name reflects your occupational duty, what occupation you do. That is reflected by the last name. But it became caste system. That's why Srila Prabhupada says it has just degraded the scientific varnashrama system, which is very, very scientific. It is based on your quality. It is not based on birth. But caste system is a degradation which spoils the whole thing. So in caste system, regardless of your qualification, regardless of what work you do, you take the privileges of that title. You're not working as a Brahmana, but you call yourself a Brahmana and people come and offer obeisances to you, touch your feet. So this is caste system. That's not important. That's not good. So what to speak of on the material platform, even on devotional platform, somebody takes the title of Goswami. So yesterday I was telling you, the 6 Goswamis, they worship the deities and then they passed on the worship to the Grihasthas. And the Grihasthas, so again, remember the title is based on the quality, based on the work that you do and based on your quality. It's possible that the immediate Grihasthas to whom this service was handed over to, they were actually Goswamis. It is possible. That's why they were given that service, maybe. But that does not mean that now that title of Goswami has become the monopoly of that lineage only. Only those who take in my birth in my family, all my descendants, only they are Goswamis. Nobody else can be called a Goswami. This is my title. Similarly, those who are taking birth in the Goswami family only can be called Prabhupada. Prabhupada says this is caste system and this is Prakrita Sahajiya. Somebody who holds this type of idea cannot even be called a Vaishnava. And ironically, those who hold such ideas that my family is Goswami and only we are entitled to be called Prabhupada, ironically, they say or they call themselves Vaishnava Dasa Anudasa. Right? Vaishnava Dasa Anudasa. That means they are servant of the servants of Vaishnavas. But then they've already labeled who is Vaishnavas. Only those who are coming in their family line are Vaishnavas and they are servant of the servant of Vaishnavas. But this is opposed to, on one hand they say we are servant of the servant of Vaishnava and on the other hand they say you cannot take the title of Prabhupada. You're following? You cannot take the title of Prabhupada. You cannot take the title. Nobody can take the title of Prabhupada. But we are Vaishnava Dasana Dasa. How? How can both be? So this, everything is based on definition, based on quality. This is the important thing that we should understand. We go by the externals. Even within our society, as soon as you see this tilak, oh, this is a Vaishnava, this is a devotee. In Kali Yuga, so many things are fake. People pretend to be something else. They change their names. But their intention is they keep the name. Many things are happening nowadays. People from some other faiths change their names. to Hindu names. But their intention is not to follow Hinduism or anything, but their intention is to come and exploit. Not just exploit, and like they come with very nefarious agenda. It's real. It's happening. It's happening now. All over the world, not just in India. It's happening all over the world. So my point is, this is Kali Yuga. People have this facade. They present themselves as something else to cheat people. So we cannot now simply go by their external appearance. We should do our homework. We should know what is a devotee, who is a devotee, what are the qualities. Simply changing the dress is not sufficient. Especially in Kali Yuga. I mean, cheating is there all the time, but now it is at its peak. So, look at this. They're calling themselves Vaishnavas, servant of Vaishnavas. And at the same time, they say the term Prabhupada is their monopoly. They will not accept anyone taking the title Prabhupada. You are not. And who is the person who's given that title? Somebody who he's the confidential servant of the Lord. So you actually test the qualities of that person and then you say, isn't it? And the spiritual master does not belong to any particular caste. This is another thing. Spiritual master is not belonging to a particular caste. One thing is they call themselves as belonging to a particular caste, and also they impose a particular caste on the confidential servant of the Lord. He's transcendental. He has nothing to do with the caste system or, even varnashrama in this world. Because this is for those who are in the bodily consciousness. He's beyond that. And you're imposing a caste on the spiritual master. And based on your caste, you are taking the title of a confidential servant, that you are a confidential servant because you have taken birth in this family lineage. What is this? This is not approved. Such people who have this type of mentality are not even Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada is clearing in this purport. This we read yesterday. Why all this discussion? Because Kashi Mishra said, I'm so fortunate that Prabhupada is going to stay in my house. So who is Prabhupada here? Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So it is being explained by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So somebody who's saying that, who is opposing a pure Vaishnavas being given the title of Prabhupada, it is understood that they are envious of a bona fide spiritual master who is addressed as Prabhupada. And because of this envy, they are committing offenses. What is the offense? Considering the spiritual master to be an ordinary human being or a member of a certain caste. I told you yesterday how they refuse to call him Prabhupada. Instead, they will say Swami Maharaj. He is not just a sannyasi. We have many sannyasis. Sannyasis have the last name Swami. Regardless of whether he is a guru or not, a sannyasi has the title last name Swami. That means one who has controlled his senses. Swami or Goswami. And then you call them Maharaj. They want to call Srila Prabhupada only as Swami Maharaj. Just look at the envy, the enviousness. There is no recognition of his achievements. He spread the glory of Krishna. The term Krishna was not even known in the Western countries. All over the world, in each and every continent, single-handedly, he has taken the flag of Krishna consciousness, transformed, and he is still transforming hundreds and thousands of people. If he doesn't deserve to get the title of Prabhupada, then who does? In today's date, who has done that? That's why Srila Prabhupada is saying, this is an offense to consider. And then the reason he cannot take the title, what is the reason he cannot get the title of Prabhupada? Because Prabhupada belongs to my family, my lineage. Because you belong to some other caste based on your birth, that means you don't belong to the Goswami caste, you cannot get the title of Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, he got the title of Prabhupada because of taking birth in that family. What is this? This is nothing but envy. So by this envy, they're committing offenses, calling the spiritual master as belonging to a particular caste. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says such Prakrita Sahajiyas, these are Prakrita Sahajiyas who have such envious mentality, regardless of whatever position they show in the world, as being exalted Vaishnavas. If they hold this type of mentality, this is Prakrita Sahajiya. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, such Prakrita Sahajiyas are most unfortunate. And because of this misconception, they fall into hell. They go to hell. They fall into hellish conditions. So now we will continue. We will read the next verse. This was a very relevant shloka, so we spent some time on that. The next verse is 24. So the context is Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya went to Kashi Mishra's house and said, the king has decided that Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu will stay in your house. Right? And Kashi Mishra is very happy about it. Oh, Prabhupada is going to stay in my house. Āila puruṣottama-vāsī jana, prabhuke milite sabāra utkaṇṭhita mana. That means now all arrangements are made. The king himself has made the arrangement and he is very eager. Utkaṇṭhā. Utkaṇṭhā means like this, kantha ko upar karna, matlab being so eager, right? Eagerness, that's called utkaṇṭhā. So the king himself was very eager for the return of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And he made the arrangement. He said Kashi Mishra's house will be the Lord's residence. Why? Because it is close to Jagannath temple and also it is extremely solitary. So this will be perfect, ideal for Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Not only the king, but all the residents of Puruṣottam Kshetra, that means Jagannātha Purī, puruṣottama-vāsī, all the people there, they all became very eager for the return of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. They wanted to meet Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Mata puruṣottama-vāsī jata jan prabhuke milite sabāra utkaṇṭhita man. Their minds were now very, very eager to meet Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Thus, all the residents of Jagannātha Purī, which is also known as Puruṣottama, became anxious to meet Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu again. Purushottama. Now we are in Purushottama Mass. Why it's called Purushottama? Purushottama is Purushottam Kshetra. So who's Purushottama? The best of all Purushas. Lord Krishna, Purushottama. Purushottama Kshetra, because of all places of pilgrimage, the best is Jagannātha Purī, Puruṣottam Kshetra. Similarly, of all months, the best month is this month, Puruṣottam month. Like that. And it doesn't come every year. It comes once in 3.5 years. So thus all the residents of Jagannātha Purī, which is also known as Puruṣottam, became anxious to meet Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu again. sarva-lokera utkaṇṭhā jabe atyanta bāḍilo Mahaprabhu dakṣiṇa haite tabahi āila. This is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. When everybody was very, very eager for Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, just at that time Mahaprabhu returned from South India. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. As one approaches me, I reward him accordingly, Krishna says. So if you want reciprocation from Krishna, you have to be very, very eager for him. And that eagerness you have to show utsahat, nishchayat, dhairya, tat karma pravartanat. Srila Rupa Goswami explains in Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. Utsahat, very enthusiastic in your service. And nishchayat, determination. You are determined to do that, however difficult it may be. Dhairyat, even if you don't see the results, you remain patient. Tat karma pravartanat, you carry out all the rules and regulations, the process, the way it is given to you. With faith, with determination, with confidence, you keep doing your devotional service. Sato vritti, following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. So, sangatyagat, give up the association of materialistic people. By doing this, you are showing your utkaṇṭhita. If you're doing this very enthusiastically, following everything very enthusiastically, you are showing your eagerness, your utkaṇṭhita. Then you will experience reciprocation from the Lord. Sarva-lokera utkaṇṭhā jabe atyanta bāḍilo Mahaprabhu dakṣiṇa haite tabahi āila. Atyanta, right? When it reached the peak, that eagerness to see the Lord, we cannot wait anymore, right? When that utkaṇṭhita, it's not like, oh, he's not here, so you just get absorbed in other things in life. When he comes, then we will go and meet him. Meanwhile, we'll be busy with other things. Not like that. Utkaṇṭhā, cannot wait another day. Why he hasn't come yet? Why he hasn't come yet? Atyanta bāḍilo, that eagerness has increased to the peak. Charam sima tak pahunch gaya. At that time, Mahaprabhu returns from South India to Bengal. Mahaprabhu dakṣiṇa haite tabahi āila. When all the residents of Jagannātha Purī became extremely anxious to meet the Lord again, he returned from South India. So this had happened in Mahaprabhu's absence. Now Mahaprabhu returned. So what happened before he came is being said here. Śuni ānandita haila sabākāra mana sabe āsi sārvabhaume koila nivedana. And then they got news now. Remember when Mahaprabhu came back, he first sent his servant Krishnadas to inform the devotees, Nityananda Prabhu and the other associates of Mahaprabhu's return. Now he's in Alalanath. So what was the condition of the devotees? And not just the devotees, everyone is, but all the residents of Jagannātha Purī, let me put it that way. The devotee, when I say devotees, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's direct associates. But even the residents of Jagannātha Purī, when they got news, they had been already waiting now for the return of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And they were so eager, so anxious. And now they get news that Mahaprabhu is back. What was their condition? He's here now. Śuni ānandita haila sabākāra mana. Oh, he's back, he's back. They became so blissful. He's here. Śuni ānandita haila sabākāra mana. Sabe asi sārvabhaume koilo nivedan. Immediately they went to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya because again, that's the whole point. He's that confidential servant. How will you get access to the Lord without going through the spiritual master? Even Prataprudra Maharaj inquired from Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, please give me a chance. I want to get darshan of the Lord. The king is saying. And Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, yes, I would have certainly arranged, but yeah, he said he will come back in a short time. But he gave some service also. You arrange a residence for the Lord. So now, similarly, like the king, all his praja, everybody is eager for the Lord. And when they heard, everybody went to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and submitted to him a request. What did they say? Hearing of the Lord's return, everyone became very happy and they all went to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and spoke to him as follows. Prabhura Sahita Ama Sabāra Karaho Milat. Everybody wants an interview with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. The way Prataprudra Maharaj wanted, all the residents, why not? Because he is dear to everyone, isn't it? Who would not desire? It has nothing to do with your social position. The only qualification is your greed, really. Your greed to see the Lord. That's the price. So everybody in Puri, they all went to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house and they are requesting, Prabhura Sahita Ama Sabāra Karaho Milan. Please, we also would like to get an interview with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. We also would like to see him. Please arrange our meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. All of our meeting. Tomara prasade pai Prabhura Charan. By your mercy, we will get the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Please, please, like this. The king had invited Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya to his palace, to his court, or to his, for a private meeting. And then he requested Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya to arrange a meeting. And Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya gave him service. That means you do this service, then I think meeting will be arranged. Now everybody went to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. Please arrange our meeting also with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. By your mercy, we will get the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Please arrange. So this is what they're saying. Please arrange our meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. It is only by your mercy that we can attain the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasadaha. Yasya prasadan na gati kutopi. By the mercy of the spiritual master, you get the mercy of Krishna. If you displease the spiritual master, you cannot get the mercy of the Supreme Lord in any way. It's not possible. That's why they're saying, only by your mercy, we will be able to get shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Bhattacharya kohe kali, kashi mishrera ghare, Prabhu jai bena, taha milabo sabare. So Mahaprabhu is back now. Where did he go? Mahaprabhu, remember? He was in Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house. First of all, when Mahaprabhu came, he went to Jagannātha Purī, to the temple of Lord Jagannath. He took darshan of Lord Jagannath. He was in ecstasy. He came back after 6 years. Can you imagine? So there were so many ecstatic symptoms on his body. And after that, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya immediately said, today I'm inviting you for lunch in my house. All of you, you should come to my house. So they went. And at noontime, prasadam was arranged for them. Jagannath Prasad. And not only that, that night Mahaprabhu spent in Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house along with all the devotees. All night long, they were simply hearing Mahaprabhu tell about his pilgrimage, all the stories. So at that time, Mahaprabhu is in Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house. All the residents of Jagannātha Purī, when they got news that Mahaprabhu is back and he is in Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house, they all ran. Or maybe, yeah, I'm not sure if it is after Mahaprabhu came back or before, when they just heard that Mahaprabhu is now back. I'm not sure if he's still in Alalanath or if he actually came back and that's when everybody went. But either way, the point here is they came to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, this is what he's saying. Kali Kashi Mishrera Ghare Prabhu Jai Bena. Tomorrow, Mahaprabhu will go to Kashi Mishra's house. Taha Milabo Sabare. There I will introduce all of you to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, or I will arrange your meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu in Kashi Mishra's house. So when everybody went to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya requesting him for a meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, he said, tomorrow Mahaprabhu will go to Kashi Mishra's house. There I will arrange your meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Maybe this can be either before or after. Probably after, I'm thinking, because before he was also in such ecstasy. He himself wanted to go and see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So he ran and he met Mahaprabhu on the beach of the ocean, of the sea. Bay of Bengal, right? So on the, yes, Mataji, Bhakti Sundari Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, when Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was telling Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya that from South India, I didn't found any devotee like you. That happened on a beach?
No.
That conversation?
That night at his house, when he was telling about he sat down after taking prasad and everything, and they were talking in the night, with all the devotees. So he was telling them about his travels to South India. And there he said, I met so many Vaishnavas, but I haven't met anyone like you. But I was so pleased with Ramananda Rai, like that. Not on the beach.
Okay, so first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house in the night.
Yeah, actually first he first went to Jagannath temple. So Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya met him on the beach. But before that, the devotees, Nityananda Prabhu, Mukunda and others, they went to Alalanath. And Mahaprabhu is walking from Alalanath. So on the way, while Mahaprabhu is coming here and they were going on the way, they met Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And they're coming back now. He embraced everyone and they're walking towards Jagannātha Purī. So on the sea beach, now Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya also got news. He was going and he met Mahaprabhu on the sea beach. And there he embraced them. And along with all the devotees, Sārvabhauma, everyone, they went to Jagannath temple. There Mahaprabhu took darshan of Lord Jagannath and was in ecstasy. There were so many ecstatic symptoms on him. And from there itself, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, today's lunch is in my house. You should all come to my house. So then he took them to his house. And at lunchtime, he arranged for Jagannath Prasadam, Lord Jagannath's Mahaprasad, his remnants to be brought, so many varieties, food items which were eaten by Jagannath. And then he arranged lunch prasad and he arranged for Mahaprabhu's nap, rest in the afternoon. And he was personally massaging the Lord's feet. And then the Lord sent Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya to go and take prasad himself. And then after that, so after a little rest, when Mahaprabhu got up, So they probably sat down, and Mahaprabhu spent that whole night in Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house just to please him. So, and then the next day, so when did this happen? So that night when he spent there, all the devotees were also there. And Mahaprabhu was talking to them, telling them about his South India tour. So at that time, he told Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, I didn't see any devotee like you in all my travels. That means nobody is as exalted as you. But Srila Ramananda Rai, is so exalted like that.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji, for revising.
Yeah. So I'm saying that when did these residents of Puri, at what stage did they come and request a meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu? I'm thinking because now Mahaprabhu is in his house. So we also want to come and take darshan. Please arrange for my darshan with the Lord. And Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, tomorrow Mahaprabhu is going to go to Kashi Mishra's house. There I will arrange your meeting, all of your meeting with Mahaprabhu. So that's one possibility. But yeah, we'll see. Bhattacharya kohe Kali Kashi Mishra ghare Prabhu jaibe na taha milabe sabāre. The Bhattacharya replied to the people, tomorrow the Lord will be at the house of Kashi Mishra. I will arrange for you all to meet him. Aradina Mahaprabhu Bhattacharya sange Jagannātha darshana koilo maharange. On another day, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu took darshan of Lord Jagannath in great bliss, in great happiness. He was with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. Along with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu took darshan of Lord Jagannath. Maharange. Matlab, ekdam, he's very joyfully, very enthusiastically, he took darshan of Lord Jagannath. Acha. So Aradina means not just some other day, the next day. Because the next day the Mahaprabhu was supposed to go to his residence, that is Kashi Mishra's house. So that day, the next day, so all night long they had discussions. And when the people came asking Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya to allow them also to meet Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya said, tomorrow the Lord is going to go to Kashi Mishra's house. There I will arrange your meeting with the Lord there. Then the next day, Mahaprabhu along with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya very enthusiastically, very joyfully went to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. The next day, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu arrived and went with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya with great enthusiasm to see the temple of Lord Jagannath. Next day to what? Let me read. Mahaprasada diyataha milila sevaka gana Mahaprabhu sabākāra koila alingana. All the servants of Lord Jagannath delivered remnants of the Lord's food to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. In return, Chaitanya Mahāprabhu embraced them all. Darshana kori Mahaprabhu cholila bahire Bhattacārya āila tare Kashi Mishra ghare. Yes. So what we discussed is right only. So this is the day after his arrival. So first he arrived. That night he spent in Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house. Because when he arrived that day also he took darshan of Jagannath with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya and all other devotees also. And then he went to Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house to take lunch. And that night he stayed in Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya's house. Then we hear that the people, when they got news that Mahaprabhu is back, they came and asked Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya to please arrange for their meeting with the Lord. And he said, tomorrow the Lord is going to go to Kashi Mishra's house. There I will arrange your meeting. And the next day morning, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu went to Jagannath temple to take darshan of Lord Jagannath along with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. He went to Jagannath to take darshan of Lord Jagannath along with Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. And there, once again, so whenever the Lord goes, the devotees, the pujaris of Jagannath, they are offering him Mahaprasad of the deity, garlands and prasadam to eat, like that. So the next day when the Lord came, all the servants of Lord Jagannath, so Mahaprasad diya taha milela sevakagan. So the servants of Jagannath, the next day, they offered the Mahaprasad. When he went to take darshan of Jagannath, the servants offered Mahaprasad of Jagannath, that means garland and prasadam, food, taha, and then milila sevakagan, and they wanted to meet. See, when you say residents of Jagannātha Purī, even the sevaks, they are also residents. So they all came and they gave him in the temple itself, Jagannath temple itself. They brought Mahaprasad and they went and met Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Mahaprabhu sabākāra koila ālingana. He embraced all of them. The previous day we heard, then also, what happened the day before, remember, when Mahaprabhu took darshan, he was in ecstasy, he was not in external consciousness. There was trembling and there was, hair standing on end and tears. Like he was in complete ecstasy, unaware of external world. At that time, the servants came with Mahaprasad. So when they brought Mahaprasad, the Lord came out of his, he came to external consciousness. He received their gifts and he just met with them. That's all we see. He just took the gifts like that. And today, the next day when he went, once again they came with Mahaprasad. All the servants came. And here we see Mahaprabhu, he actually embraced all of them. Mahaprabhu sabākāra koila alingan. All the servants of Lord Jagannath delivered remnants of the Lord's food to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. In return, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced them all. How fortunate. Darshana kori Mahaprabhu chalila bahire, Bhaṭṭācārya āila tare Kashi Mishra ghare. So after taking darshan of Jagannath, Mahaprabhu came out of the temple and Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya took him directly, after coming out of the temple, he took him to Kashi Mishra's house. Remember, Kashi Mishra's house is very close to the temple. So as soon as Mahaprabhu came out of the temple after taking darshan of Jagannath and meeting the servants of Jagannath, embracing them, as soon as he came out, Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya took Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu to Kashi Mishra's house. Darshana kori Mahaprabhu cholila bahire. He came outside. Bhaṭṭācārya āila tare, he brought him Kashi Mishra ghare, to Kashi Mishra's house. After seeing Lord Jagannath, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu left the temple. The Bhaṭṭācārya then took him to the house of Kashi Mishra. Kashi Mishra asi podila prabhura charane. And when they came to Kashi Mishra's house, Kashi Mishra immediately came and fell on the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Griha sahita atma tare koila nivedan. So he offered his house, he offered himself, everything he offered to the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Kashi Mishra asi podila prabhura charane. Also one more thing, just see what should be the mood when you're offering something to the Lord or his devotees. The mood should not be that I have made such a nice offering. Right? I've gotten the best fruit and I've given it to Krishna. Like this. Or I've offered the best flowers to Krishna. I've cooked the best thing for Krishna. Yay. Like that? No. That is why we learn from these devotees. By their example, we will understand what is the proper mood. It is my good fortune that the Lord is accepting something from me. It can be any insignificant thing. or the most valuable thing, whatever you may give. The mood should be like Kashi Mishra. I'm so fortunate that the Lord is accepting something from me. He came and he fell on the lotus feet of the Lord, and he's like, he offered his house and he offered himself. He offered his Atma. So not just this body. Body includes gross and subtle body. So this body, this is surrender. That means now this body, when you surrender, when you offer it to the Lord, means now this body will only do whatever functions, the hands, eyes, whatever limbs, whatever functions they do, that will be only Lord's service. Other than that, I won't do anything else. And not just and subtle body, mind, intelligence also. Not only that, but my Atma, myself, is now completely, it will only do your service. It won't do anything else. This is surrender. So he offered, so what to speak of this house, everything. And he fell down on the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So this type of offering is accepted by the spiritual master. When you offer with this mood, but if you offer with the mood that, like, I'm giving you this, you use it for this purpose and that purpose, and this will like that. He will decide what he wants to use it or not. Whether he wants to use it or not, or how he wants to use it, that is his thing. From your side, it is just that you're making this offering and you feel grateful that you are being allowed to make this offering to Krishna and to Krishna's devotees also. So that mode is attractive to the Lord and to his devotees and to the spiritual master. And sometimes the spiritual master kindly teaches us also. When the mood is not like that, then the spiritual master teaches us what the mood should be. Yes, Mataji. Amal Sundari Mataji.
No, Mataji, I just remembered my mom, when she used to do they were not like, we didn't had deities, Now I have, but when we were growing up, whenever she used to offer some sweets or fruit, I remember she used to always say, "Na kuch kiya, na kar sakun, na kuch karne yogya." So that registered. She always said, whenever you offer, you should think yourself so, like, you know so small,
Unqualified.
like
Yeah.
unqualified, like, always think like, in a god whose sahastro lakshmis are serving, what is your capacity to serve? So with that same mindset, you should always, when you offer, you bow down with that consciousness that ना मैंने कुछ किया है, ना मैं कुछ कर सकती हूँ, ना मेरी कोई योग्यता है. Like, so that's what you are just explaining. I remembered that.
Yes, Mataji. Very nice. Na kuch kiya, na kar sakti hu, na karne yogya hu. Srila
Thank you.
Prabhupada also speaks exactly. This is the language of devotion. Exactly same thing Srila Prabhupada says. And when he says, गला भर आता है उनका, Prabhupada ji ka. He says that, and he's just speaking to devotees, but he just becomes so overwhelmed with devotion, saying that you just bring, some flower or fruit, and when you offer to Krishna, and when you're saying that this is not mine, you didn't make that fruit, you didn't, this is yours. Your thing I'm offering to you.
तेरा
Please
तुझको
accept.
अर्पण.
I have no, I don't have anything to give you. I'm so insignificant, but you be kind and
To accept.
mercifully you accept whatever I'm offering to you. And saying that, he just became so emotional with tears in his eyes. And then he said, he was not saying this is how you should offer. He was actually feeling that way. He was just saying, when we offer, really what is our qualification? Everything is given by him, it is all his, but still he is so kind that when we make that offering, he accepts it. As if we are making that offering, he accepts that devotion. So really what we can offer is our devotion. And that mood we get to see from devotees, genuine devotees who have that mood. We learn from them. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
काशी मिश्रा आसी पोडिल प्रभुर चरणे गृह सहित आत्मा तारे कोइलो निवेदने. When Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu arrived at his house, Kashi Mishra immediately fell down at his lotus feet and surrendered himself and all his possessions. He surrendered everything. Possessions, himself, Atma. And then, we'll read this verse and we can stop here. Prabhu Chatur Bhuja Murti Tare Dekhayan. And look at the reciprocation of the Lord. When somebody is offering with such devotion, that is why, ye yathamam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyam. As you approach him, the way he in the same way he reciprocates also. Kashi Mishra, genuinely, he just fell at the lotus feet of the Lord and surrendered everything to the Lord. Prabhu Chaturbhuja Murti Tare Dekhaila. Immediately he manifested his four-armed form. Atmasat Kori Tare Alingana Koila. And then he embraced Sārvabhauma Bhaṭṭācārya. Atmasat Kori. That means he accepted Sārvabhauma, Kashi Mishra's offering, he accepted and he embraced him. Prabhu Chaturbhuja Murti Tare Dekhaila. When Kashi Mishra fell on the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Mahaprabhu manifested his four-armed form. That means he is the same Jagannath there. Jagannath also has Shankha Chakra holding. So he manifested and then Atma Sat Kori, he accepted. Tare Alingana Koila. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu then showed Kashi Mishra his four-armed form, then accepting him for his service, the Lord embraced him. We'll read further tomorrow. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur
Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.